circuit de Spa-Francochamps for the 6th round of the Season 2 Super Formula season. It's getting well and truly underway. Title fight looking interesting. I believe Raiden still holds the title advantage, only a couple of points ahead of Fubuki, who in turn is not far ahead of the likes of Wittmann and Knight Donner, giving him a couple of good races. He can pick up some decent results after being late to the party. Lorenzi as well has been always up there after what was a thrilling race in Maggiore that saw these two get on the podium. Knight Donner and Wittmann G that are actually going very close in tandem with each other now. So all in all, in the Teams Championship gets interesting. Red Bull really closing points in on that. On the championship leaders in that department, the Northmen of Luckman and Fubuki, Fubuki's out of the pits. Hunty's returning with us, as is his teammate Reitenlad, who I believe is with us, as we have 12 people. So everyone is there, I'm pretty sure Reitenlad is indeed there. So 11 people, one will not be scoring a point. It's just the sad way the world works. Here we are at the Spa-Francochamps circuit which I don't know how much they've done of it on this circuit, because, you know, it was relatively new to the game, so as far as handling and tyre-wise go, nobody really knows, but it has some mighty corners which we'll be talking through on the lap. And I'm sure we could be in for a great race. Spa tends to provide some really good racing. And so, you know, here we go. And this time the really good racing is going to be on the Super Formula League, which provides really good racing in and out of its own accord. So there's that, I guess. This race today then, a really disappointing race in Maggiore. He does not like the track, so we'll see how he is in Spa. So we'll see how he does in Spa. A bit of a disappointing round for him in Maggiore, but he did say he doesn't like the track all too much. Raiden, he's been searching for a win recently and hasn't found it. He's often just come up with mistakes to appear to have just thrown the race away, and it looks like we had another one in Maggiore which went to the last lap. They were battling away and it all went wrong for them. So we enter the second half of the season now. The season is well and truly underway, and our championship fight gets even more interesting. Ruti's looking for a good season as well. A good race this season. Knight Donner, he picked up a podium in the last one. I think it was his first party podium of the season, so he's not done all the races, he's done a few as Walter goes off and collects Raiden among the way. Vimenji's having a decent run of form recently. He's been there or thereabouts, but hasn't been able to pick up the victory. Neither has Knight Donner. We had 3 different race winners. No, we've had 4 different race winners out of the 5 races. We had Fubuki, who picked up the first win of the season as Lorenzi lost it due to a post-race penalty in race 1. Raiden won in Willow Springs, the race 7 race of the season. Race 3 was at, where was it again? I've forgotten. I know it was Bathurst, yes, it was Bathurst, where Fubuki won after spinning on the first lap to complete a brilliant recovery drive, which did see him take the victory on the last lap. Race number 4 was in, or top was short, and Lorenzi took the victory as Raiden flew away with a good podium finish. Lorenzi took the victory and that one stood, and in race number 5, Hubi, who was subbing in for Ruti, took home the victory. He's not a full-time racer, but that does massively help the Teams Championship hopes for the Red Bull as they try to chase down the Northmen as the championship leaders, as Wittmann's getting in tonight. But I wonder if there's a bit of slipstream practice going on here to try and help them when it gets to qualifying. We'll see if there is any teams trying slipstreaming as a genuine tactic for helping them do obviously the results, I guess. As we've got Knight Donner and Wittmann, they're running very close to each other. They get on well, I suppose, and they're also a very quick pair. They are a very quick pairing of drivers, which many expected for them to win the Teams Championship, and they are trying to chase them down. But Ruti currently quickest, ahead of Race Day second in this little bit of practice. So Ruti looking almost in good stead. The team's championship leaders are the Northmen. We've got Luckman, who has had 2 minutes 3, so he might be one to hopefully try and improve as the session goes on. And for Buki, he's just now starting an outlap. So obviously qualifying has begun for another 10 minutes. Onto the Ponty in 11th, returning with us in the midfield as he usually is, his teammate right and left for the Toyota racing team. Fabuki just getting a feel for the tyres. Fabuki and Luckman do a lot of work between races to get the strategy and everything sorted, a lot of time run comparisons. They just make sure everything is, you know, sorted and they can see what's going on. And that is what's obviously the continued hope, that it will bring them the success and continued success they've had. Only 2 wins this season, and they are actually Fabuki is the majority race winner out of these first 5 races. He leads. He isn't the championship leader after the first 5 races, but he is indeed. And I think missing the second race in Will Springs has massively cost his championship hopes slightly. But he has clawed it back to only just being a handful of points behind him. I think we worked out that he's now just about, what, 8 points behind Raiden. It's very much possible that Fabuki could get ahead. And I'm saying just about because we haven't actually got a points table. I was unable to complete the points table because I didn't have time. So that's basically that. So yeah, we are at Spa. It's a great track as we see Luckman going for a pull-on, running a little bit off the track. Okay, he's gone from being a little bit off the track to being considerably off the track, gets back on the track into paved path, which I'm pretty sure is what it's called, and if it's not, correct me. Luckman's decided the chicane doesn't exist and has gone to do a bit of lawn mowing, I guess, as he comes into this. Rudy's looking pretty strong, currently set the fastest time, 56.5. I don't know if his teammate Raiden, who is always up there, or Race Tay, or any of these lot who set representative times, he's on the softs. Tay's also on the softs, and I don't know if he's going to be up on his time, but we'll be about to see as he comes around the final corner out of the bus stop chicane and up to the line. Is a charge to La Sauce. Is he off? Yeah, he goes up there. Just Race Tay casually setting the fastest time. Ponty has actually relegated Ponty up into 3rd place somehow, but I guess he's an A-rated driver after all. So yeah, on the soft tyres then, and it looks like Raiden has set a lap time on his softs, and that's the benchmark, 54.7. The lap time is rapidly decreasing, and I don't know if they've got anything left in the tank before qualifying begins. La Sauce then is the prime pub zone, I guess, but as far as overtaking opportunities, there are plenty. The first corner, La Sauce. Good exit out of bus stop chicane, we could possibly see some there, or even out on the start, if someone gets a good launch, they could see him move into La Sauce. It could easily go into chaos at La Sauce, as in real life, as Tay's getting a bit of a wobble open on the cone. Out of real life, La Sauce is often a position of just chaos. The next best overtaking spot, I mean, the brave souls of the world might try and move into the Eau Rouge Radion uphill chicane. And I'm going to make sure I keep saying Radion because I'm pretty sure someone will correct me in the comments. If you get it, it's a possibility. I think only the bravest will try to do it there. But I don't. I won't know how incredible it must feel to do Eau Rouge in these cars. He's very much got the downforce, wings left, right, well, front, back, and all over the place. And they've got a lot of downforce as they come out of. Pretty sure it's a Stavelot. I'm not sure on that one. As they launch themselves around toward Blanchimont on a great corner. Again, it's not an overtaking corner, but it's a corner that just gives you the sort of feelings, you know, you're just happy to have done it. As you into what could be the final overtaking zone, you get the run out of Blanchimont, it's wide enough. It's a heavy braking zone into the bus stop. If you do get a move into the bus stop, as Hollow Fragments runs wide on the exit, prepare for someone to fight back onto the second part of the bus stop chicane, which is the actual final corners, the final 2 corners there. And then it begins the lap again. So let's have a look at someone else going around the track. We've got Mark Donner into Stavelot. I believe this one's Stavelot, and then the one afterwards is called something different. Well, it's not actually what it's called, but it's got a different name. Yes, your main overtaking spots. Turn 1, La Sauce, the Lacombe chicane with someone who's currently spinning. I'm definitely pronouncing that one wrong. But that's also a highly likely overtaking spot down the Chemo Straight. Okay, I'm not going to do that much often. Down the Chemo Straight. Into the Lacombe chicane, which then leads out of the chicane into the reverse. And again, it's a chicane, so I mean, you get one into the braking zone, it's highly likely someone could get you on the exit into the next part. As Fabuki's following right and left, slipstream. For qualifying, slipstream could be quite important as Fabuki is 2.10 seconds off his nearest title rival. It's Nick Donner's getting a bit of a wobble on. But slipstream could be important. I mean, you've got these long straights here. I mean, out of La Sauce, you want the best exit because you're not braking for a long way now, especially with the fact that it's uphill. We're about to see if Fabuki can get a bit of a toe off of right and left. We'll see if this helps him in any way, shape or form, and he is purple in Sector 1, so I guess that answers that question about the slipstream. But as you enter into Sector 2 now, which goes on to about Stavelot, or just after Stavelot, through now into Ravage, it's not exactly following another car is going to help. There's a lot of turning, especially as we have Ravage into No Name, which that's not the joke, there's genuinely no name for that corner. Then we go into Pouon, which it's one of the corners where following another car, as we see Fabuki getting a snap there in the middle of Pouon. That's not what you want, but he managed to just about keep it on the track. Luckily the weather has held up for us and it hasn't started raining, but there's Fabuki. Yeah, and that's the second sector, which is quite cornery, I guess. I mean, it's a very high-speed track, and rightly so. It is just very high speed, and it's such a fun track to drive. But there it is in all its glory, Spa-Francochamps. We'll see who is standing on the Spa podium here at the end in the Ardennes Forest. As the Walter cars of, well, Walter and Tay, currently looking really strong. There's a bit of traffic being caused now, right and loud. It goes deep into the bus stop and then goes into the pit, so we'll see how we followed Fabuki on this practice lap. Is it any better? I don't think it is. It isn't. So he did actually lose time in the end, especially given the fact that he was purple in that first sector. Tyre deck, we're not sure how the tyre wear is. Hopefully the drivers will be figuring that out as they go, or at least they'll want to figure out the strategy as they go. But they are, so yeah, they're going to try to figure out the strategy as they go. As we now have Night Donner right up behind Fabuki, and you can see there, that's just a slipstream. I'm sure they're not backing off at all between these two, as we can see a bit of almost symbol of what's going to happen in the race. Is that a prediction? We're going to see drivers going side into there. It is highly likely, especially with the added bonus of, well, the overtake button that will be used into there. I think entirely likely we will see drivers going into that corner side by side and dueling it out as well. And we could see some great wheel-to-wheel racing here through the hill in the Ardennes Forest. The elevation change here is almost unlike something that you just can't get anywhere else, to be honest. Like, qualifying, that Eau Rouge Radion is going to be impressive. It's like 10 stories, just like that, pretty much. Like, it's quite high and it's quite quick. It's like Spa-Francochamps. As you can see it all the way over there, actually, just in the back of the shot, it is a mighty corner. And all of our 11 drivers going through there on lap 1 is going to be one hell of a view. In fact, this is a camera angle I am more than liking. You don't really get the sense and feel of it. And in fact, the Camel Straight is still an incline. It's not flat. It looks relatively flat on the screen there, but it is an incline still. And you're actually still climbing until about here, where it starts to now suddenly go downhill. Actually, no, about on the exit of the Lacoon chicane. It's at this stage, it's at the track starts to drop away from you. As you head into Ravage, you can see the elevation change. It just drops around, and it's very easy to understand that corner due to it. And it's all now just a constant decline until you get toward Blanchemont, where it slightly rises, not to the extent of the summit at Lecombe, but it does rise up a little bit. There are some great corners here in Belgium. Obviously, the host of Belgian Grand Prix, Spa 24 hours, I believe they do, and the Spa 6 hours, more like that. It does a lot of endurance racing. And why not? Why would you not want to race around this track as much as possible? One of, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be too wrong in saying that this is probably one of the best circuits in the world. It's definitely up there. Lorenzi says he will not do this race because he can't be bothered or something like that. If I'm getting off it. Oh well, stuck check time, and that's going to be fun because we're heading into the first corner. So here we go, stuck check time, and I don't know what TV's doing. So, Nike Donner is on pole for our stuck check with Fruity on the front row, and what a view that is of the grid. So here we go then, on the grid, ready to go for the stuck check as they go. Look at the wheel spin, cars wobbling around, trying to find space. In fact, that was Walter and Tay in the middle there, get a bit hit and go, and Jesus Christ, Raiden has pile-drived everyone. Here we go then, so Rucci just come out in the lead of all that, but everyone looked to get off the line perfectly fine, and so that's all good. So yeah, everyone looks to have gotten through the line, everything's okay on that department. So Fitman ends now on the lead, they're all going to quit, and the 10-minute qualifying begins as Walter is still sat stationary at the grid. He didn't get stuck, he did get moving because we saw them hit each other, got a bit of wheel banging, I suppose. So qualifying begins now. 10 minutes of a qualifying session, which begin immediately as soon as the stuck check, and it is for Buki on the medium tyre, so I wouldn't hold on to him staying on the track. Restay is probably our most likely candidate to go on for the first lap, and so we're going to follow him. It's about a 2-minute lap time, it's not quite 2 minutes, but it is there or thereabouts, so I wouldn't expect those that are choosing to pit in on this first lap to, really. The ones on the first lap to pit in, they're going to have to get on with a hurry because, you know, they will be losing time. It's going to be definitely a 2-minute outlap, so if they're doing 2-minute outlaps, it's already about half a session. So obviously the drivers didn't ask themselves, is it worth it to avoid not doing a run at the beginning of the track, qualifying, or at the end, or just start on the soft tyres? That's the decision they've got to make, and they've got to make it, because, you know, they want to know, is it worth going out on mediums, then pitting for softs, going out at the end, or getting a lap in first, then changing on to whatever tyre you want to start on after the session. It's all touch and go with strategy right now, and I think Tay will not want to start the softs. I don't think anyone wants to start on the softs, unless they're a madman. Yeah, so here we go then, Tay. I think it wouldn't be too bad of a judgment to say for Book's coming in. It would be a stupid decision of him, really, to try and continue out again on the mediums instead of flying lap on mediums. Although it looks like he's going again, which is a very interesting call. So it looks like he is choosing to try and do a lap on the medium. So let's ride on board with Fabuki heading into La Source. Got to brake it, and then turn it, and then accelerate as soon as possible, but don't accelerate across that sausage curve on the exit. Next up, and just look at it. It is a monster of a corner. One of the most iconic corners in the world. And he is completely flat there on medium 6th gear, flat. That is incredible stuff. Then you're still accelerating, so it's important to get a good exit out of La Source and try not to lose too much time for a Rouge Ravion, because you're not braking until now, where you've got to be the last late breakers in a race situation to get ahead into the chicane. Try not to turn the car too much, get in the car position nicely for the exit, which then starts your decline down the track. You start to go down in gradients, starts to go downhill. Rivage. Is this an overtaking spot? Probably not, given the fact that you've got the chicane just in front of it, so don't be too surprised if you saw it. Here we charge into Pouon. How is this taken from him? No braking, lifting on entry, accelerating on exit, in the middle of the corner onto the exit, so that's Good stuff from him. Then into the Piff-Paff chicane, I believe it's called. It's a decent overtake spot. You can get the run out of P1. Second enough overtake spot, and then into Stavelot, which ends all your second sector. You rise back up the hill now. That's at the bottom of the track. You're now rising back up the hill. Next target now is Blanchimont. I'm assuming it'll be flat in these cars. They could take P1 with a lift. And is it going to be flat? It is indeed 6th gear flat. Next up, your final challenge now. Pick the braking zone for the bus stop chicane. It's an uphill braking zone. You turn in for the first part, and then you go up even steeper. Try not to accelerate too soon, but you don't want to accelerate too late. You want to hit the exit there. And now, ordinarily, you line yourself up to the exit, to the outside of La Source, which is what he's doing. Does go to take off quicker. He does go a second quicker. His teammate goes ahead of his teammate. Raiden is the next to cross the line. This shall be a lap they're all chasing. A relatively off-colour lap, a 58.2. How about Fraggins? He bails out into the pits. Walter, I believe, has just pitted in, so he's just now starting the lap. So our next man is Hunty, who looks to get that wrong in the bus stop chicane, and he's got his teammate behind him, so I wonder if there was any slipstream tactics between these two. As across the line, a 58, that puts him down at the bottom, and Wrightson lad getting up in the fourth, and actually 7 tips quicker than Raiden. A really off-colour lap from Raiden, but for Buki on the mediums, it's not that bad a time. He's there or thereabouts. Yes, he's got quite a bit of a time difference, a 1 second gap to Racer 2. He's currently on provisional pole, which has been changed by Knight on a very small gap there. Vimon G's on an outlap, so I think he might have pitted in. Although Fraggins, he did pit in. So yeah, those two did pit in. And Ruti is on an outlap as well on his second. So waiting for the next phase of lap times. Now, does Raiden try and go for another lap? Because he looks really off colour there. 2.2 seconds away from Knight Donner and down the order. And in fact, he's just sat in between the two Toyotas with Wrighton in front and Hunty behind. Hunty, the slowest of those that has indeed set a lap time. And I think Walter might be coming around to the end of the lap now. Walter is actually on his lap, so we'll follow around I suppose. We've got Hunty, who, yeah, he's the slowest person that's so far set a lap time. However, Fraggins, he's having a really horrid season. Scored points in Autopolis, but just other than that, it's just not been good for him. He's only had 1 point scoring finish, and I don't know the chances he sees of that improving. Vimon G, as Ruti begins his lap, climbing his way out of the source. Vimon G's having an okay season. He picked him up podium last time. He's been well over the halfway mark of the qualifying session. In fact, going up to the line, Buki does pit in the end. Knight Donner, he continues on in his provisional pole run with Race T in the pits, Lutman in the pits, and for Buki, so he'll be going on to a set of softs. He'll be going for it now. Raiden pits in, so the first runs are all done from our top runners, and Wrighton is sitting pretty in 5th place, chasing his teammate down. So again, if there's possibly a bit of team tactics as Walter goes up in a P3, and a strong lap from Walter, getting him just in behind his teammate, and Raiden, who's sat down in P7, and he's definitely going to want to know he's got more pace in that. Managing to get a 54.7, I believe it was, in practice. So there's a good 2 seconds we found. There's a good several seconds for Raiden to find. 4 seconds he can decrease that time. But with Fraggins, he's just finished his lap, I believe, and he sits himself in P9 at the moment. Vimon G's on a lap as well, down in P10. Rudy, who's still trying to go for a lap, but it's saying he's got a purple sector in the first one, so we'll follow him through the sector. A little bit of grass and entry at Stavro, that's going to compromise his entry a little bit. Across the sector split, it's not going to tell us the gap, so we're going to just have to hope and see where he comes in the end of all this, as he now charges it up. And again, you want to get the exit out of Stavro, because you're pretty much not braking until the bus gets to this long parts of this track where you just do not brake. And that's obviously going to be the concern. Some of these drivers is just trying to get the exit. Now as he challenges the bus stop chicane hard on the brakes. Is it enough? He looks like a decent run through those corners. We didn't see the whole lot. It's looked like a pretty decent lap. And it goes P4, so it is a pretty decent lap. And on to the second row of the grid for Ruti, who's been really off his teammate. Now he's out-qualified his teammate, but I'm sure Raiden will be quickly determined to put that one right. So the Fraggins comes toward the end of his lap with Vimon G closely following. I wonder if Vimmon's been getting a bit of such. It'd be interesting to see, actually. We'll talk to our top 3 about this after the race, but it'd be interesting to see, actually, if they've chosen that slipstream is an option. There's a lot of traffic here at the moment. Luckman's in the middle of it all, I suppose you could say. He's got Raiden just behind, he's got Tay just behind him, he's on the front row. So, I mean, they're not exactly that too bunched up together. But Racer Tay, is he going for another lap and is chasing down Raiden, getting a bit of slipstream. Hopper Fraggins there actually in the background. He goes P11. Wittmann, where did that time put him? It put him into third place, right up at the front and splitting the two Walter cars. So I think maybe a bit of slipstream for Wittmann there has helped him. Speaking of slipstream, is this what Tay's trying to do to get on pole position? He's running out of time. If he is trying to do this, we'll just ride on board with Racer Tay heading into it. He's getting the slipstream off Raiden, who I don't think he's got anyone in front of him, and he's a man desperately wanting to try and improve his time. He's got Luckmann a bit further ahead. Purple first sector for Raiden by a few tenths, but a lot of time is going to be gained in these this middle sector. But we'll see if Racer Tay, I think it was up on his time as well. Walter is not far behind him, so I think the teammates might be doing a bit of communication there to get this one sorted out for them. Because Walter, who is still on that second row alongside Wittmann at the moment, in P4, would still be an incredible qualifying for Walter. On and out lap if he wants a full effect to the slipstream as Racer Tay goes off. He needs to get a bit close to his teammate, but getting close won't be an issue there as Tay goes off the track. And any pace he had as Tay goes straight on again in pit path, and that's going to be concerns for Racer Tay, who is now no longer on a good lap. Wittmann G's going slow as well, so I think he's just trying to find space. He's got 20 seconds to get there though to the line. Will Raiden get another lap in? That is an interesting question. He might have this one lap here to see what he can do, because he's got 10 seconds to get to the line if he wants to start another lap. Fabuki's on provisional pole out of somewhere, but it's not enough and Raiden does not get the extra lap. So this is the one lap he gets. And here we go. So Raiden gets one decent lap. Is it going to be good enough for pole? It is not! Raiden is not on pole position. Fabuki gets to start another lap. But what a time that was for Fabuki. Raiden in P2 then. And can't get any higher. But Nike Dynamite is still on the lap and could be improving. Racer Tay isn't on a lap. He didn't get around to the start. Neither is Wittmann. Walter has not got a lap in either. So Nike Dynamite is the only one that can really cause an upset. Nick, if you join literally now, you can start the back of the grid. So if you join now, you might have a chance getting in. But we've got Knight Donner, who is on the end of his flying lap. And he's the only one really in the top top six, I believe. In fact, he might be the only one still on a flying lap. There's two people that look to be going around. So he's got the bust up chicane, and he's just behind Raiden. Fabuki's got pole position, and Raiden in second. The top two in the championship, the top two on the grid. How's that worked out? But what can Knight Donner do to change this? Not a right lot. He improves, but only goes 3 thousandths of a second behind Raiden. An incredibly close qualifying, and for the first time all season, I believe, Raiden hasn't got pole position. Knight Donner gets a penalty. I'm assuming that's just speeding under the yellow flags. We've got Luckmann. He's on an out lap, I believe. So yeah, he's on the mediums. Wittmann's going slow. Walter is all stopped. Ruti's going slow. Brighton lad going through. But it says he's on the out lap, so I don't think he's on a lap. So I think that is your grid set. I will just let them know Nick is coming. Just so they don't start the race without him. He should be starting, or should hopefully be coming with us and starting in the back of the grid. So the usual rules apply as far as tyres are concerned. Use 2 out of the 3 sets. But that should all be good as we see. So it is Fabuki that grabbed pole position, and he comes out of the, he's actually off the track. He'll be starting on the medium tyres. He'll be starting on the medium tyres, as that's what he went out on the first time, so he'll be starting on the mediums from pole position, with not Luckman, Raiden, his championship rival. So Fubuki kind of needs the victory here if he wants to take that championship lead, and it could be his 3rd win this season. He has the majority amount of wins, with 2. Obviously, we're only 5 races in, so I mean, it's difficult to say that, but he has got the most wins out of anyone on the track. The first one, you could say, should have been Lorenzi's, because, you know, did really win that for a post-race penalty. And every guy has come to join us. He will be just starting at the back, and he's making up for the lack of Lorenzi. So the Ford EcoBoost team, whatever you want to call them, do not only have Spa-Francochamps representing them in this one. So as far as tyres, I think the mediums is generally the popular tyre, and it looks like that trend is sticking. A lot of cars on the mediums. I believe Walter and Ruti on the mediums as well. Rifle mediums onto hards. And I believe Spa-Francochamps might be starting on the softs, but I don't know. So yeah, the usual trend is that everyone starts on the medium tyres. And he's out, so once he's on the track, I think everything looks good, and we should be good to go for what promises to be an incredible race. Well, here at Spa, we've got Fubuki on pole with Raiden in 2nd. And with M3 on the track, I can officially give the word to go. He is running the Toyota livery, but don't be fooled, he is subbing in for Lorenzi, last minute sub. But we shall wish the boys good luck. I mean, the last minute sub, which is why he's been unable to pick the livery in, but we'll just imagine he's got the same livery as Spa-Francochamps in the blue Ford Monster One. Circuit de Spa-Francochamps, ISRL Super Formula Race 6 here at Spa in Belgium, the Ardennes Forest in Wallonia. Fubuki on the inside into turn 1, Raiden on the outside, and it could be chaos, as for the first time this season, Raiden doesn't have pole position. Will this affect the championship? We've got a nice camera angle here. I honestly rate this one. This is probably one of the best. Well, we can see the entire field. Let's get ready to rumble. The lights are on. The drivers are ready. And it's lights out, and away we go. How's the start from everyone? They're peeling off to the inside. Fubuki looks to have held the lead. Race 2 looking to try and find his way past Raiden, but Night Donner holds to the inside, and everyone looks to have a very tentative start. And in fact, Raiden's dropping back. I think he's clipped the inside barrier there. He might have done, but Race 2 in 4th place is chasing down Night Donner. And Fubuki and Raiden, do they go single file into Eau Rouge? Yes, they do. And look at that up the hill. What a spectacular view as he goes charge up the hill. Wittmann now chasing. We'll see what the battle is like. Over the front, Raiden looks to try and get around the outside in the slipstream of Fubuki. Switches to the inside down the Camel straight, but he's not quite got the speed to get in there. And now suddenly Night Donner's trying to get down the inside, and they were very nearly going 3 abreast there. And a bit of contact. Raiden goes off. Raiden spins and Night Donner goes off. And now Night Donner off. Racer T gets up in a second. And in fact, Raiden's been swarmed by Wittmann and Luckman as Spa-Francochamps goes wide on the exit of the curve, heading down into reverse with a chaotic opening lap. This has been Wittmann and Luckman going side by side there. And in fact, they were going 3 wide into a reverse there with Night Donner and the 2 Toyotas. Ruti's getting around in the background as well, getting a bit of action as M3 guy slowly finding his way through the field. And what a bit of a madness start, especially into the curve, as Night Donner, who tried to get ahead of Raiden, failed to do so, and Raiden got costed down into 3rd place, and he's now chasing down his former teammate Racer Tech. Fubuki gets away now into the lead, and rather crucially has the lead, with Luckman in P4, 5th place Wittmann, 6th Walter, 7th Spa-Francochamps in the end, 8th place Hunter, 9th down in Nike, and right in lad P10, Ruti and M3 guy currently out the points and a long way off the pace. Immediately dropping back, and that's concerns for them. And now we've got Raiden and Racer Tate along with Luckman and Wittmann just in the background, and it looks like Wittmann's almost about to shape a move up there, but it's not quite. Luckman goes deep into the bus stop. Luckman tries to defend, and Wittmann goes side by side. Racer Tate's off the track, and that's going to allow Raiden through, and it does. But Wittmann, as Luckman went deep into the bus stop chicane, has cost Wittmann That's caused Lutman 4th place now, and now Fabuki needs to pull out that gap. And in fact, Fraggins and Walter going side by side trying to get the exit. Ardal Sauce trying to do the cutback on them. It wasn't quite enough. As we see Walter leading over Fraggins, leading Hunty, leading Night Donner, who spun at the Lacombe chicane after contact with Raiden on the opening lap trying to get past. Raiden and Racetay, they're still going wheel to wheel, and there they go, Racetay trying to get to the inside of Raiden. And is this going to be enough as Racetay holds that inside line under braking? Raiden tries to look around the outside, that's not quite enough. And now we've got Racetay and Raiden, and Raiden's race is really looking to go wrong for him now. As it stands, I believe Fabuki will take the championship lead should it finish like this. But with Lutman chasing down Wittmann, and in fact Fabuki's managed to fire a 2-second gap, so as long as these two guys and everyone keeps squabbling behind, that's going to just allow Fabuki to open up the gap at the front of this race. He then just needs to control the remaining 15 laps of all 15 laps of this race, which I think is what he's got his heart set on at the moment. Night Donner's actually gone there to Hunty and Wrighton as the two Toyotas get very close to contact coming off the track at Pouhon. However, Fraggins drops outside the top 10, and now suddenly we've got Hunty and Wrighton lad getting very close to each other, with Ruti in 10th and over Fraggins dropping out the points. And in fact they're going side by side is Hunty and Wrighton lad, and in fact there we go then. So these two Toyotas, no team orders at all, getting very close to each other, and in fact there's almost contact yet again. They don't want to hit each other off and cost each other points, but Ruti has seen the squabblings in between this team and has sliced through the middle of them all, and he's now trying to get ahead around the outside, heading into Blanchemont around the outside of Hunty. Has he made that stick? Yes he has, and what a move from Ruti around the outside there. Brave stuff, but picks up a penalty for it, and Wrighton lad is pouncing on his teammate and gets himself ahead. Dropping down the order there is Wrighton lad. Now Ruti's going slow, and that does allow for Wrighton to get ahead of Hunt, and Ruti dropping down the order. Now Hubber Fraggins might even be able to cause an upset to these and get back into the points. What a battle we have emerging at the back. Well, we'll see what it's like at the front, and at the top of the hill it's now Raiden's turn to try and get ahead of Race T. As far as the overtake usage, Raiden has gone slightly better than him for it at the moment. They go side by side, but it's not quite enough up the hill as they just continue to lose time as Fabuki has the fastest lap, but Raiden still can't get ahead of Race T there. And what a battle this is starting to look like as we go a fifth of the way into this race now. We've got Lutman in 4th, 5th place Wittmann, and we've got Walter and Night Donner trying to recover from an error. Wrighton like pulling out a gap, and in fact Hunty's dropped to 10th place, Ruti dropped down to 11th, and 9th and 8th is Hubble Fraggins getting up into points. He's fighting on the fringes of the points now. We do have Raiden chasing down right to Tay, and Raiden goes well off into Pouhon, and that's just going to cost him time, and it has cost him a lot of time. There was that dirty air. Well, I don't think it was, but it has cost him a lot of time, and he's suddenly losing time to Luckman, who could possibly get on the podium. Luckman, surprisingly, hasn't had a podium. He's had pretty decent pace, and he's been there or thereabouts on just outside. He's delivered some decent drives, but it just hasn't come good enough for him to score the podium. He has had mistakes, of course, in the recent couple of races, or topless. I believe he had an off in Maggiore. In fact, on the first lap, Luckman is offering a driver that finds himself right down at the back. I mean, Bathurst or topless in Maggiore, he was pretty much at the back at the beginning of the opening lap, and that's ruined any chances you have of a podium. And Raiden has decided that it's time to pit, and Night Donner has navigated Walter. Wrighton lad, it's actually got a 2.5 second gap to over Franks. That battle at the back looks to have just calmed itself down now as Hunter continues to try and defend against Ruti. So Raiden does choose to be the first one to pit, and he decides now's a good time to do so. So does this cause Tay Fabuki to pit? We know how much of a gap, how much quicker the softer tyres are compared to the harder, more warm tyres. This will be interesting to see as he comes out in 7th place, 11 seconds off the gap, and it surprises no one that he's on the soft tyre. What does Fabuki do then, who's going to obviously lose time to Raiden and maybe even to Racer T? In fact, he's got about 3 seconds, so that earlier battling between Racer T and Fabuki has really cost has given time to Fabuki, and it's really helped him. He's got a bit of a gap now. He's opening up a margin of about 3 seconds as we can see the cars finally around. Nightbomber recovering to 5th place, who's got Raiden just a couple of positions behind him. Only Walter sits in between Raiden and Nightbomber. You can assume Walter is going to continue doing what he always does and go extremely long into the race before choosing to pit in. Hunty on the hard tyres, who started on the hards, in fact Hobber started the sauce. Hunty, who started on these hard tyres, has it really worked out for him? He's down in P10. It's difficult to say whether it has. 3 guys now pitted onto a set of hards. So I mean, we've got Raiden, who has gotten ahead of Walter, and now stares at the back of not 1 but 2 of the Stone Age motorsport cars. Luckman as well has now got a threat from behind of Wittmann G, and we'll see if Luckman can defend. Obviously your next best opposition here is the bus stop chicane, though Ruti made it work, and in fact Wittmann's trying to get around the outside here, and he looks to try and get around the outside. Luckman holds his position on the inside and defends, but Wittmann, it's not enough. Race Day does respond to the pit stop he does respond to Raiden's pit stop. Walter is actually in, so Walter doesn't go long on this occasion, as does Wittmann pit in. So that's more cars pitting in and has put Raiden up into 4th place now behind Night Donner, and it's currently a Northman 1-2. Race Day drops to 5th and has been undercutted now by Raiden. So it's very interesting to see. Will Fabuki, when Fabuki chooses to pit in, is he going to drop behind these lot? You'd think he would. I'm sure Fabuki's got a plan. But that gap has massively come down as Raiden tries to pull to the outside of Luckman. He's tried to get ahead of Tay here a couple of times. And is he going to work on Luckman? Not quite, but he's really going for it. And now he's got Nightdon all over the back of him. We got Raiden chasing down Luckman, and in fact he pulls to the inside and into Ravage. Is this going to be a move? Yes, it is down the inside into Ravage, and he makes the move down there. Raiden is saying no thanks and splits the 2 Northmen. There is no one now in the way between him and Fabuki, and you bet Fabuki's probably going to lose out to Raiden out of all this. Welsh Race Day is not far behind all this, so he's caught straight back onto them. But that gap has opened up about 2 seconds between Raiden and Race Day. But Race Day needs to close down, and he needs to close down immediately. So as Race Day gets closer and closer to the back of Night Donner, he's all over the back, and as they start snaking around, Race Day looks to try and pull to the inside. Night Donner looks to try and pull to the inside. And in fact they're almost going 3 wide, but Race Day looks to back out of that, and he makes the smart decision to do so. Night Donner gets to the inside, and Luckman really just struggling for pace at the moment. His tyres looking in really bad condition as Race Day's chasing him down now. He is chasing down Luckman, and he sets up the move. Is this going to be into the bus stop chicane? Luckman looks to try and set up a move on Night Donner, and whilst they're all setting up a move on each other, Race Day almost looks like he's going to get down the inside. Luckman goes in deep and very nearly cuts straight into Race Day there. And Fabuki does pit in, and it's a tyre change that's going to cost him a podium position here, because Wittmann's coming down now. And is this going to be ahead? He's only just dropped to 2nd and on 2 lap younger tyres, and he's just 6/10 behind Raiden. I don't think Fabuki's going to back out of a fight here, and why would he? And in fact he's immediately closing that gap down, heading onto the Kemmel Straight. Raiden battling with Race Day has caused Raiden to use a lot more of his overtake button than what Fabuki has done, and here he comes chasing him down. Is he close enough? He's not close enough for an overtake on that occasion. Is it going to be into Ravage? Is it going to be the overtake there? As Racer Tay, he's going to try and close him down, and he is actually gaining on them now. So he's about 3 seconds back on Fabuki, which is what he was before all the pit stops occurred. And he's actually closing that gap down now between these 2. In fact, Fabuki's lost time going through that section there. So maybe that was an opportunity. It just wasn't quite close enough to get ahead and take back the lead of this race. Luckman's pit stop came out in 7th behind Walter, who has pitted in. So Walter has jumped Luckman in the pits, because Luckman pitted when Wittmann and Tay did. So he's come out ahead of Luckman, so he's actually undercutted Luckman there, right and lad. And in fact these 3 are still going at it, Wright and Hunty and Ruti. Ruti looks to try and get to the inside of Wright and lad, and he does that into Piron. They look like they were 3 wide there, but as Hunty the Ponty picks up a penalty, and I'm not sure where Wright and lad is going, but a penalty for Hunty, and are we honestly surprised that that he's cheating his way through into 8th place. He does need to back that penalty off, and he does look like he's failing to burn the penalty, so that is going to be a penalty coming onto his way for sure, because, you know, he needs to burn the penalty immediately, and he obviously hasn't done that. He's still carried the penalty, so with Ruti in 10th place. Brighton Lad chasing his teammate down, and I don't think there's any team orders involved in this one. In fact, speaking of not team orders, Lookman's trying to get past Walter into the bus-stop chicane. They look to navigate that one relatively well, but look at the overtake usage on Lookman as Walter gets very sideways there. Look at the overtake usage from Lookman. It's quite heavy, but he pulls to the inside, heading into La Source, and he gets down the inside into turn 1. At La Source, accelerating away, Walter still on the outside. Is that going to be enough? They still go for it, but no, Walter wasn't actually touched his overtake, but I don't know if he knows where it is. There's always one driver that doesn't know where it is, but he's fallen through, and I'm sure he should use it at the top of the hill here. Doesn't seem to use it. But speaking at the top of the hill, these two are still going at it. The two Toyotas aren't giving up at all, and there they go through up the hill, ascending up the hill, and now suddenly Right Lad pulls out, who also hasn't touched his overtake, but there's a slight kink in the camel curve, but there we go then. So Right Lad ascending up the hill and has gotten ahead of his teammate again. No team orders for Toyota, and if it goes wrong for them, they've only got themselves to blame, as Raiden has actually lost the lead to Fabuki there. I didn't really see where that was, or when that was, as Raiden travels very wide, and we did miss out focusing on battles further down the field. I do apologise for that, but Fabuki has pulled out ahead into the lead in 2 seconds. He's immediately clawing out that gap, so Fabuki's a man on a mission to win this race, and why would he not when he needs these points in the championship? Every race counts, and they are going for the championship as Raiden and Fabuki, and I think they're starting to pull away the championship lead now. I think if it finishes like this, I believe there's about a point between them heading into the next race, which is Tokyo Expressway. Kashaw. Well, so it's our track in the streets of Tokyo, or the expressway of Tokyo's Reitenland now has picked up a penalty, Hunty as well, and in fact Raiden is in, as is Racer Tay. He's this time not waiting to stay a lap longer, and so pits in, and he raises Wittmann to Tay, and Wittmann, who went on a lap longer than Raiden on the last lap, has decided to pit in, and Walter is in as well off those medium tyres, so very interesting strategic choices going on here, which has allowed a big gap for Fabuki, but what does he do? So Raiden pits in again, and Lookman gets out ahead of him, and Reitenland is down in 6th place. Is he going to get ahead of Taino? He does not. He's got his teammates really bad. But with Ruti and Walter, they are definitely ahead of Walter, because there is Walter, or at least are they? Because here comes Reitenland and Walter have come out very close to each other, but it's going to be close side-by-side action heading into Rouge. It's a slight downhill before it all goes up, and Reitenland gets ahead, but I'm sure Walter's going to immediately come back. I doubt that there's any real battle in this one. Walter's looked quicker than Reitenland, pulls to the inside line, not using his overtake, holds that inside line, down the inside into Lecombe, and he's actually not got fully ahead there. Brighton's hold it, but he can't hold it for much longer, and that's a move done for Walter. Meanwhile, we've got Raiden on the back of Lookman. I wonder if Lookman's going to be told to hold up Raiden to help Fabuki, who is Raiden's championship rival and contend and rival in this race for the win. I'm sure Tay will want to cause an upset here and get in the way of the title battle. So we'll see if he can get any closer to him. And he's going to want him, and he's not too far back, about a second. He's not a million miles away. He's not as close as Raiden is to Lookman. He's about 8 tenths. Lookman's got very little overtake left to defend with, and so we'll see what Lookman does. Has there been a communication that he must hold up Raiden? That's the likely option. He's going to try and stay ahead for as long as he can, really, to try and make sure that current 16-second gap, as Fabuki doesn't pit in again on this lap. 16 seconds is at the moment enough as Raiden fails to get ahead of the bus stop, and suddenly look at Tay who's starting to get involved. And the longer this goes on, Wittmann can be roped into all this. And so suddenly Lookman on the outside, Raiden follows him, tries to get the exit, and it's not going to be a dive bomb into third place. He's not that desperate, it does line him up on the exit, and it looks like Raiden's had just much better traction coming out of the first corner, and in fact there's Lookman who just slots in behind. 16 seconds is the gap between Raiden and Fabuki, and Lookman's not done yet though. Still train. Is it going to be enough for Lookman to get ahead? No, he's starting to drop off now, unfortunately. It doesn't look like Luckman's got much more to defend with, but he's closing down, heading into the corner. It's not quite enough yet, though. But Tay and Luckman are now going wheel for wheel with each other, nose to tail, as it looks like Tay might be about to get the move done into Ravage. He pulls to the inside, almost looks like there's a bit of a tap there, but I think they both managed to go on with that one. No tears involved. That accident. Now logically you'd think Fabuki would box this lap, because he's starting to lose time now to the guys around him, particularly Raiden, who he needs to get ahead of, with about 6 or 7 laps to go to the end now. As Luckman is still being chased by Resite. But the battle at the back between the two Toyotas looks to have mellowed out, but Ruti's still very much in that fight, and sadly Robert Frames looks like it's going to be another race without points scored. So Fabuki, does he choose to pit in? The gap between them has come down by about 2 seconds since he got ahead of Luckman, so now would probably be the ideal time, and Fabuki's staying out again, so I think he's wanting to hope that he can get fresher tyres for when Raiden, so the freshest tyres he can possibly get, so that he can get ahead. But the longer he stays out, the more Raiden closes in. The more Raiden closes in, the further out it gets, and that means that the less laps he has for Fabuki to possibly make an overtake. This is going to be yet another race that goes down to the wire between Raiden and Fabuki. It looks like it's all going to culminate in a massive battle at the end of who will have the fresher tyres. We'll see what the outcome is of that later on. Wittmann is now chasing down Luckman to grab his P5 slot in the slipstream onto the Camel Straight. Chasing him down now. Is it going to be enough? Luckman who's milked his overtake button drive. Wittmann, who is using it now as we speak, is chasing him now. Actually set to purple sector. Raiden did grab the fastest lap on that previous lap. Look how close he is now, but he's going to have to just bide his time and falling through. There's no point trying to go for the overtake just now. Is this going to be enough to go for the move? Is he going to turn to the inside and get it as restated? Not on this occasion. Wittmann holds off in the background there. Certainly the gap has gone down to 13 seconds. Raiden has taken another lap out of it, another second out of it. 54.6. That's the 57.0. So about 3 seconds a lap quicker is Raiden at the moment. It's very interesting that Raiden is obviously going to try and get ahead of Fabuki. I mean, they were actually closer than this last time they pitted, and Fabuki only just came up behind them. So maybe Fabuki might, if he pits in now, might just come out ahead. It's suddenly getting really close between them all. Ninth Donna has actually taken a bit of time out of Fabuki, just about a second. I don't think it's anything significant. Obviously Fabuki, when he pits, he'll come out behind Ninth Donna, and when Fabuki pits will be now, but a fuel stop as well will be included in this one. Ninth Donna is also going to be pitting in for fuel, as Raiden's going to have the fuel to go to the end of the race, but he'll also have all the tyres. And the good judgment here would be that as Fabuki fills up his car to go to the end on the final 5 laps, we'll be on fresh softs, as there goes Raiden into the lead, and Race is going to come out now, and it's Fabuki on the move. Fabuki is on the move, is he ahead of Raiden? He might just be. It's going to be close as he wants to pit exit, but Raiden has just about taken the lead there, and he's only just come out ahead. That was very close now. Now Fabuki with fresh softs, 5 laps, and enough fuel to go to the end. It's going to be game on now. 8 tenths is the gap, and it immediately starts to decrease, and it's going to be a battle between the two drivers fighting for the championship. Who is going to come out on top here? Half a second. It's coming down drastically now. With Fabuki on the fresher tyres, you'd think the pace advantage would be with him, but catching and overtaking are two very different things. And with very minimal amount of laps left to do the overtaking, only about 5 laps, will Fabuki have what it takes to get ahead of Raiden? Race Tay's got a 3-second gap to Wittmann. Donna comes out in 5th place. A bit of a disappointing race for him, who went for challenging Raiden to get onto the podium, and now down in P5. Shaw just down to the limitation. Luckman in P7, he's dropped off from when he was battling for a podium, but half a second is the gap, and will it get any closer? You could say Fabuki's within striking distance, he needs to get a little bit closer. Where is the Fabuki most likely to do it? With the main overtaking spot on turn 1. Bus stop and Lacombe, I suppose, is where he's most likely to get it done. Here we go then, out of Stavelon, up the hill now toward Blanchemont. We saw Ruti make a fascinating move on Righton around down the outside into Blanchimont, but with the win on the line and even the championship on the line, I don't think Fabuki's going to do it. He's not quite close enough to do it. But is he going to set up and move into the bus stop chicane? Not quite into the bus stop chicane, it's not quite close enough, but he's gone very close now. And should he prioritise the exit onto the main straight, and I think that's what he's doing, and he's really got the better traction here on the better tyres. He pulls to the outside, and around the outside on the main straight. Fabuki, does he brake in time, but Raden's fighting back to the inside, and suddenly Raden holds the lead. Fabuki now challenging, powering it out of the exit. Here we go then, in the rise toward Eau Rouge, but it's a slight downhill before he goes back uphill. Here we go, is Fabuki going to hold it? Yes, he does into Eau Rouge, and what a move. Fabuki taking the lead there and dropping Raden back down, and what an overtaking to Eau Rouge. Incredible stuff, and risky as well, especially given the fact that not just the win, but the championship could be on the line here. But Raden's immediately coming back at Fabuki, gaining slightly, but it's not enough of a gain. And Fabuki, who's got the fresher rubber, has done something that was probably inevitable, and Fabuki retakes the lead of this race. Meanwhile, Race Day's got the alleviated pressure now, as Wittmann did choose to pit, but Mike Donner and Wittmann both got fresher tyres. Wittmann might be going for fastest lap. There isn't anything up for fastest lap, of course, but I'm sure it's just a nice bonus start for the drivers. Currently it is Raden's 54.6. Fabuki's had a 50.2 on that lap, apparently, but that was his out lap, so we're just going to ignore that lap exists, to be honest. And now there is Raden, who is immediately dropping a second back, and suddenly I think Fabuki just pitting in later and has timed his stops to absolute perfection. And so it's already dropping to about 2 seconds back, and Fabuki immediately starts to pull out the lead. And in fact, is it worth Raden pitting? Because he's actually going to drop behind Race Day, and he's going to have about 4 laps to catch up. But Race Day might have to think about pitting, because he's got Night Donner all over him. And if he pits, he might just come out behind Night Donner, which it looks like it's going to happen anyway, because Night Donner goes to the outside and makes a very easy move in the end for P3 on the podium. Which Night Donner did pick up a podium in the last one. And so, but his Race taking a go for it. He's got that red light by himself, which means he's got less than a quarter of his overtake left. And Raden, risk of all, he's chosen to pit in. Night Donner continues on, and Race Day's followed him in. So Raden has decided now he needs to pit, but if it finishes like this, I believe Fabuki might have the championship lead if Night Donner can get ahead. And is he going to get ahead? It's going to be close again, as Raden's just about behind him, but Raden does hold that second place. And now with a 9.3 second gap to Fabuki, Raden will be quicker, but will it be quick enough? It's going to be an incredible charge for Raden to get him in the final 3 laps. In fact, Night Donner looks to be setting up a move on Raden. Pulls out to the outside, and is it going to be enough for Night Donner, who's side by side heading down the back straight into the Lecombe chicane, and that's not quite enough there. So there we go then, Raden isn't quite enough. And Race Day has lost the position of Wittmann. Wittmann gets around the outside, and so Race Day was looking good for podium, just dropped down to 5th place now, with Wittmann getting ahead, and the pit stop costing the position to Night Donner. And Raden, who nearly lost the position to Night Donner due to the pit stop on Fabuki, he's found himself in a 9.8 second gap, could be on set for his 3rd win of the season, which would really go a long way to helping his championship fight. Wittmann and Race Day then. Around the outside tries to go Race Day, trying to find a way to the inside now into Piff Path, and down the inside it's not quite enough. It is not quite enough for Race Day to get ahead on that occasion, but he's definitely going to be wanting to try. He has got like a couple of laps on him on the tyres. Luckman, who's got only a 2 second gap to Walter, who's got himself a 12 second gap to Wrighton and Hunty. Night Donner, who's got as Race Day tries to pull to the outside of Wittmann, and he drops the position, and Race Day moves into P4 now. And so suddenly Race Day's going to be trying an 8.4 second gap in 2 laps. It's going to be difficult, but Wittmann's not giving up and tries to get around the outside of Tay, and that's not enough on that occasion. So Wittmann does drop the 5th place, as Race Day, who gets very squirrely on the exit there, does hold P4. Give way to faster cars, that is blue flags. In fact, in the background, just as Race Day got ahead of his opposition, suddenly Walter might get ahead of Luckman here. Heading down into P6, not quite into La Source, but here we go, out of La Source. In fact, Wittmann's got very close, heading up Ravion, And now is they going to get up as they rise over the top of the hill? This is going to be enough for Wittmann to get ahead of Racete. It's not quite enough at the moment. He pulls one way. Does he go to the inside? Does he go to the outside? He's chosen the outside, which allows Tate to defend the inside. Coming slightly across there in front of him. It wasn't anything too bad, I suppose. And there we go, that's now done. Now Night Donner. In fact, Raiden, with 2 laps remaining, set a 49 on that last lap. Again, we'll turn an irrelevant lap because, you know, it was the out lap. But Fabuki setting a 55.8. In fact, his fastest lap was a 54.7. And he's already dropped a second a lap on as the tyres go. So the drop in lap times is so quick, and that's why being on fresher rubber makes you the fastest driver. So we've got Wittmann and Racete, who is there in 4th place, being chased down by Wittmann in 5th place. And Walter P6, who has gone there to Luckman in the end. And I don't know if Walter and Target much higher up than that, but a strong racer on Walter nonetheless, and a good drive for the Walter cars, who currently reside in 4th and 6th. Right in line as Hunty drops down to P10, just behind Ruti. That's about what could be going on to the final lap. Picking up the final lap, Fabuki has just begun his final lap as Raiden's looking very quick, and is he going to improve on his own lap time? He does indeed, in a 54.1, a rapid time from him. So as Raiden got 5 seconds behind Fabuki, Night Donner P3, Racete P4, 5th place, Wittmann, Walter in 6th place. Luckman P7 at the moment, and this battle for 9th place has seen Hunty drop out of it and looks to immediately lose time. So heading on to the final lap of what's been another thrilling Super Formula race. Luckman is dropping a lot of time. He was looking like he could have won a podium this race, but that has fallen flat for him, and it's been a decent season for Luckman. It's not been the most ideal season for Luckman. I'm sure he could hope to be up there with his teammate fighting for the championship and indeed winning the race right now, and sure, podium is definitely on his cards, and he's quick enough to get it. It just hasn't gone well for him. I mean, in recent races, he's found himself at the back of the field on the first lap, so at least this time didn't go wrong for him early on, but it seems that there's a lot of work for Luckman to do if he wants to see himself on the podium at some point this season. Got Raiden just 4 seconds behind Fabuki now, and I'm pretty sure if the race was any longer, Fabuki would have chosen to pit in, but he hasn't chosen to pit in. He's chosen to keep the conservative route, take the finish, and why not? I mean, he's into the final sector, and it's highly unlikely, unless of course Fabuki just decides he's not going to slow down for Spa-Francochamps. It is highly unlikely that Raiden's going to catch up those 3.3 seconds, which he is gaining quite quickly on him. But is he going to do it into the final corner? Probably not. And so, like I say, unless Fabuki decides that he's just going to go straight on. A great race from Fabuki, and he has taken pole position, and now he's about to take the victory as he comes out the final corner for the final time. Your winner here in Spa is Fabuki. Raiden in P2, then finishing where he started. Night Donner did actually recover to 3rd. As he spins, he makes a mistake coming out of the final corner, but Racete, there's a bit of a gap, and so I think a bit of a scary moment for Night Donner, but in the end he did hold the podium and stayed 4th. Wittmann 5th, Walter P6, 7th place for Luckman, 8th place for Wright and Lord, so more points for Toyota. P9 is rooted in P10. Just inside the points is Hunty the punter with M3 guy subbing for Lorenzi out the point, and Hubble Fraggins, who's also in turn out of the points. Yet again, a rather disappointing season for Hubble Fraggins. This one, but it is Fabuki that delivered an incredible performance there, and the victory. In the end, he went from pole to the victory. Not quite the first lap, it wasn't quite the hat-trick, but a great race, and he really took the fight to Raiden. And with the few rounds that remain, Fabuki has asserted himself a title contender properly now with his 3rd win of the season, and he does continue to hold the majority win. In fact, he's the only repeat winner this season, and now he's got 3. So he's in good stead for this championship as we enter the second half of the season. It's looking good for him. With Raiden, a valiant effort, but not enough of a valiant effort, only 3 seconds behind. It was incredibly risky of him trying to do that, but he gave it his best shot, and unfortunately his best shot just wasn't enough. But the defending champion, the double Super Formula champion, suddenly his title is under threat from Fabuki stealing it from him. in this third season. It looks like a great title fight shaping up. It's the longest season in any Irish Rail League ever. 10 races, and as we enter the second half, it looks like the title fight is still well and truly on. So it could be interesting. Your official results have been made official, as Fubuki does take the victory from pole position, Raiden second, McDonald rounding out your top three. Only the 1 star from Fubuki today, not quite the triple star performance, but I don't think that really matters to him. He got the most points he could have got out of all that. So I believe we should naturally do the usual thing we do, save the replay and screenshot the results, and then obviously interview our top three. Yes, our top three was indeed Raiden, Fubuki, and McDonald. And have a great race then. What about our belts as we await our top three to join us for the interviews.
You mean? Right.
Hello. Hello. Yeah. Well done. We'll wait for the other two and then we'll get it underway. Hello. No, we're just awaiting for Fubuki. Yeah. We're all here now. So, well done to the three of you, first of all. Good race. And Fubuki, I guess we should start with you then, seeing as you won the race. Hello. Yeah. Fubuki, well done.
Hello. Thanks, man.
And, well, seeing as you won the race, we'll start with you then. What was the race like for you then?
Strange, we went off without a hitch. There are no ways to put it other than that, I think. Though Raiden scared us when we used pit strategy.
Interesting you should mention that because, well, we'll just ask Red, did you, when you made that final pit stop, did you think you could catch him, or what was the thinking?
I sort of, I don't know, I saw the gap I had to Tay behind me, and I just thought I might as well do it and see what happens, but it was a big gap to make up in a small amount of time.
You were catching fast though.
Yeah, so I was trying, but I mean, I put my first stop was a lap too early. I was meant to pit in a lap after that, and I just had to sort of work with that from there on for the whole race. Try my best to slow you down when I got ahead of you in the pit stops, but it wasn't enough.
So yeah, Nike, what was your race like from your perspective? Do you think without that first lap incident, would you have been able to challenge for the win? Or obviously this was a first race at Spa, so what was that like for you to race Spa in these cars?
It's a fun track.
It's the track. Well, this combo's the one I learned the track in, so it's my favourite is.
Fair enough then. Also, I mean, Raid and Fubuki, you two are fighting up front for the championship, so I mean, it's getting very close. It's only, like, I believe it should be just a couple of points now. What do you think going into the final 4 races?
I think Fubuki's very quick in these cars. Not an
Also-
easy man to beat, so he won the most races.
Yeah, well, this is about to come on to that. So Fubuki, you now have won 50% of the races this season.
Oh wow!
And you are the only
didn't
repeat. You're also the only repeat winner.
What I find even
Okay.
more amazing as well is that he's actually missed a race and still
Yeah,
basically. I'm pretty sure points-wise he'll be number 1 now in the standings.
he definitely probably will be with his with the missed round at the end of the season, because it'll be the one where you didn't show up. So it is taking an interesting turn, the championship. Hopefully it goes down to the wire. Yeah. What are your thoughts on it, Fubuki?
Wow. I didn't realise I'd won that many races in comparison to everyone else. I wasn't keeping track.
You've won 3, and then Red and Lorenzi and Hube, who won in the last one, have only won 1. So there you go.
Okay.
Yeah. The next track. Yeah. Next track next week is one of the Tokyo Expressway variants. I'm just going to have a look at which one it is. What do you think about heading to
Loop, I think.
Tokyo Expressway?
I'm looking forward to that.
That's going to be a slipstream battle to the max, and even then, that's only going to be like the first half of the straight.
Should be interesting. Yeah, so the final 4 races are Tokyo Expressway, Nürburgring GP, Kyoto Yamagua, and Fuji Speedway. So what are your thoughts on the run to the finish of the season?
East Outer Loop will be a slipstream battle, like I've said. First half of the straight will be massive amounts of trying to overtake. Nurb GP, a really interesting race actually, I think.
Mike doesn't care.
Really?
Mike's just happy to be here.
I think the race has
First time
taken it
on the
out of
podium.
him.
We're keeping you awake, Mike.
Yeah, Yamagiwa and Miyabi will be a decent race, and then I hate Fuji. I really do.
It's like one of my favourite tracks. It's going to be very interesting. Like I said, I mean, Fubuki's out of a pick in his cars, so be interesting to see what happens come the last race, come Tuesday, wherever it is.
Yeah,
Should go down to the wire.
I am very much enjoying this season, I'm not going to lie, because Raiden's not running away with it. But anyway,
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm hosting the races.
it might be, yeah. So we shall keep you hosting the races. Anyway, so on that note, we shall end the stream here. And the interviews, well done to you all. And goodbye.